if somebody took everything away from me tomorrow, then handed me, like, say, 10 grand's worth of silver and said, right, start again, I'd honestly think I'd do things differently. Not necessarily when it comes to actually pouring the silver. I'm talking about building the business, building the brand, and trying to become an artist that people actually know and want to buy from. Because when I started, I'd done a couple of those things. And I also did what I think most people do. I made something. I thought it looked pretty cool. And then I almost immediately thought, right, how much can I sell it for? Now, looking back, I think that was completely the wrong question. So if I had to start my Silverpunk journey all over again from zero, these are the 5 things I'd do differently. And strangely enough, probably the least important part of the whole thing would be actually learning how to pour silver. Number 1, I'd build a community before I built a customer base. Now, this would probably be the biggest one for me. If I started again tomorrow, I wouldn't try and start by finding customers. I'd start by trying to find people. People interested in silver, people interested in art, collectors, other makers, just people interested in what I'm doing. And rather than constantly thinking, how do I sell to these people? I'd be thinking, how do I become part of this community and build a community? I'd comment on other people's work, I'd join conversations, I'd help people, share what I'm learning, I'd document and show my successes and my failures. I'd probably give more pieces away. I'd send pieces to people. I'd try and collaborate. Basically, I'd try and become known before I tried to become successful in the selling side. Because one of the biggest things I've learned is that people don't just buy a lump of silver or a piece of art. They buy the person, the story, and the brand behind it. And there's a massive difference between having 10,000 random followers and having 100 people who genuinely care about what you're doing. That's why if I started again, community would come before customers. I'd build the audience first before I even worried about trying to sell any art. Number 2, I'd become known for one thing. The second thing I'd probably do, something I didn't really understand when I started, but I kind of fell into it by accident, but I'd be more direct about it and more obvious. I'd ask myself, what do I want people to know me for? Not what I can make, because that's completely a different question. Because when you're starting out, particularly something new, it's all exciting, a bit like silver pouring. It's very tempting to make absolutely everything. A skull, a bar, a coin, a dragon, a hairy cow, someone's logo, a Star Wars thing, then something completely different. Because you're trying, you're learning, and there's nothing wrong with experimenting. But eventually I want someone to stop scrolling through my Instagram account or YouTube or wherever it is, and I want them to know that I've made it. I want them to go, that's Silverpunk, before they've even seen my name, because that's incredibly powerful for an artist and a brand. And if I was starting again, I'd work on developing that identity much, much earlier. I'd find my style, I'd find my process, the subject matter, and I'd find the things, basically, that make my work recognisable. Because I don't think you want to be known as that geezer who pours silver. There are loads of people who pour silver and do that. You want to be that bloke who does that one thing, and his name's Silverpunk. Now, that's completely different. Whatever business you're building, I think there's enormous value in becoming known for something. I'd rather be number 1 in a small category I've created for myself than number 500 in a massive category where everybody's work looks the same and you can't pick one artist from another. Just a little bit of a quick announcement. I have now reopened my channel memberships on my YouTube channel. So if you do want to support me, there's a link in the description below and you'll get access to a lot more videos, more inside content, more of my thoughts. And also, I've got a little Discord server for my little inner circle of collectors, and you also get access to that. So links in the description. Cheers, folks. Number 3, I wouldn't chase money too early. Now, this one might sound a bit strange coming from someone who's talking about building an art business, but if I started again, I probably wouldn't sell very much at all in the beginning. I'd still make loads of stuff and practice and get better, and I'd probably make a bit more than I did originally. But instead of asking, what can I get for this? I'd ask, what can this piece do for me? Could I give it to someone who might share it? Can I use it in a video? Can I try and get it in an exhibition? Can I send it to another creator? Can I use it to start a conversation with a collector if I show them? Could I make something absolutely ridiculous that probably won't sell, but it might get people talking about me? Because that's when you're starting from zero. Attention and reputation can be worth far more than a profit on one piece. Let's say you made something and you sell it, I don't know, for 150 quid. That's brilliant. You've got your 150 quid. But what happens if giving that piece away to the right person gets your work seen by 20 collectors? What if one of those collectors follows your journey for the next 5 years? What could that be worth? Obviously, you can't give everything away forever. I know that. But eventually it's a business and it has to make money. But I think I tried, looking back at it now, I think I tried to harvest the crop before I properly planted the field. If I started again, I'd be a lot more patient. Reputation first, revenue second. Because once people genuinely want what you're making, selling becomes a completely different game. Number 4, I'd build a luxury brand from day one. This is probably the one where I'd go in completely opposite direction than what I did. I wouldn't try to be cheap. I wouldn't look around at everybody else and think, well, they're charging 100, so I'll charge 100 or 90. I'd actually go the other way. I'd ask myself, how can I make this piece feel really special? How's it presented? What's the packaging? What's the photograph like? What's the story? How does it make someone feel when they open the box? Does it feel like they've bought some silver? Or does it feel like they've bought a piece of art? Because those are two completely different things. And a lot of pourers get that bit wrong in my view. Because if you're constantly competing on price, someone's always going to be cheaper than you. Always. And it's a race to the bottom. But no one can be you. And that's your style, your story, your reputation, and your presentation. That's where those things come together. If I was starting Silverpunk again, I'd want everything from day one pointing in the same direction. The logo, the videos, the packaging, the certificates of authenticity, the photography, the website, the way I even communicate and speak. Everything would say, this isn't just a lump of poured silver. And I wouldn't necessarily expect people to pay huge money for it immediately. You have to earn that after time. You can't just rock up and start charging massive artist prices from day one. But I'd start building the perception of value long before I started asking for the price. Number 5, I'd document everything. And the 5th thing I'd do, I'd document absolutely bloody everything. I'd start YouTube immediately, which I did. I'd take photos, I'd make shorts, I'd film myself learning, I'd show pieces that went wrong, the disasters. I'd show the first piece I was genuinely proud of. I'd talk about getting my first customer. I'd talk about trying to get in exhibitions, the rejections. I'd talk about the days when I thought, what the hell am I doing? Because all of this eventually becomes your story. And I think sometimes people wait until they get things perfect, or they try and get things perfect before they even start sharing what they're doing. But actually, the interesting bit is watching somebody become successful. That's the story. Imagine discovering an artist you really admire and be able to go back and watch the very first video they've made. You can literally watch their work change over time. The confidence change, the ideas change, the business grow. And that's fascinating for people. And there's another massive benefit. When you're documenting, instead of constantly trying to create content becomes easier. You don't have to wake up every morning thinking, oh, what should I post today? You're already doing something. Just show people. Bring them along for the ride. And over time, those people stop becoming viewers, they become followers, they become supporters, and in time they'll become collectors. And some of them might end up following your journey for years. And I'll be honest, I've made really good friends via it. So in closing, if someone genuinely handed me 10 grand's worth of silver tomorrow and told me everything you built's gone, you've got to start Silverpunk again, these are the 5 things I'd concentrate on from day one. Build community before customers, become known for one thing, don't chase money too early, build the brand towards a premium end of the market, and document the entire bloody journey. Because the biggest lesson I've learned isn't really how to pour silver. Anyone can learn the techniques, buy the equipment, improve your casting, and you can become better at making things. The much harder thing to build is meaning around what you make. And that means a brand, a reputation, a community, and a story. Something that makes somebody see your work amongst hundreds of other pieces and think, I know who made that. That's Silverpunk. And And ultimately, I've learned that people buy from people they know and remember. So if you're just starting your own journey, whether it's pouring silver, painting oils, woodworking, jewellery, ceramics, whatever it could be, don't just ask yourself, what can I make? Ask yourself, what do I want to be known for? Because I think that's the question I'd ask myself first if I had to start all this over again.